What's up, fuckers? Welcome back to the Trial by Error Variety Show podcast, episode number 77, with the lovely and talented Alice Cat. I am the host, Chazzle Dazzle, and forgive my hard speak, but let's do this. And as this journey continues, let us give thanks to Arthur for our intro. You can find that by clicking the link in the show notes to his Bandcamp page. Now, times are weird, huh? Times are confusing, disorienting, to say the least, depressing for some even. And it's really easy to get sucked into little wormholes. And once you do, what do you find in a wormhole but a worm? And once a worm gets under your skin, it finds it quite comfortable to live in your ecosystem and manipulate you. Well, my friends, today we're unearthing some worms. We're talking about some things we don't normally talk about because, well, let's face it, I'm a social media addict. Hello, my name is Chazzle Dazzle, and I am a social media addict. Well, not any longer. Was I inspired by a documentary? Perhaps. Was the knowledge given to me from this documentary? Hell no, I knew it all along, because we conducted this interview weeks before I saw The Social Dilemma on Netflix. And if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to get your life back, get your thoughts back, gain your independence, and give me a call. Let's talk. You guys, I got a lot of free time. I'm off the snaps, I'm off the instas, off the twits, off the Facebook. I got a good old-fashioned phone number and email, trialbyerrorvarietyshow@gmail.com. Hit me up, say hello. If I like you enough, we'll exchange numbers. We can talk. Maybe we can have an interview one day. But my friends, let's give it up for our friend Alice Cat. And without further ado, enjoy the show. Can you hear me good?
Yo, hey. Hi, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, awesome. Hey, your background's really cool.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Hey, I can do this too. Wow, no.
Nice.
Really nice.
That's the only one overseas right now.
Oh, really? Oh, awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for supporting the show.
Oh, always. Yeah, no, it's great. And it's just really lovely. Yeah.
I always love the lighting in your room.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Yeah. You gotta keep the vibe going. It's a strong vibe. The colors.
That's good. A pink is supposedly the most calming of all colors.
Oh, really? Oh, it's interesting. I never knew that. I heard that yellow was the most depressing, and at school the walls were yellow. So I think this is a great start.
Yeah. Yellow teeth can be depressing too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to
Yellow
live in
toenails.
Yeah, and the more yellow mine get, I'm like, oh, shit.
They're yellow from here. They look fine. Pearly white.
Too much tea. No, those teeth in the background, those are my teeth. That's action. No, I'm just kidding. That's
I was going to say, they're actually your teeth. Look, those are your teeth.
Yeah, they are. Those pearly whites, forever pearlized. So, how have you been? It's been like a year, right? Oh, January 13th. So it hasn't been a year.
It was this year. Oh, it feels like a year ago or longer.
It does. God, it's been... I feel like I just miss my friends so immensely just from, the social distancing that everything just feels like it's slowed down. And it's really only been like 6 months that we've been locked up,
Like when you think back to March, like I remember there was this band called Ocean Grove I was listening to, and it was like literally like before all the COVID stuff happened. And now like listening back to it, it feels like another time, like time ago, like the time before March. It's just insane.
Yeah. It feels so strange. And we're so here they're kind of lowering the ordinance on the mask.
Sure.
It's an optional thing,
Mm.
whereas I would say for the last 4 months it's been you don't go in anywhere without a mask.
Yeah.
But closer to the election, all the Republican states are sort of just adapting the go as you will policy.
Sure. I can definitely imagine that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sort of weird, right? Because I want everything to go back to normal, but I'm like, this doesn't feel over, you know? Like it just, I don't know. I don't, it's maybe, but
Mm.
it definitely feels like I don't even know if I can trust anything right now to take it for granted, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because over in the States, like you guys are getting like a totally different experience, aren't you? Because it's affecting everyone differently, and different principles in place everywhere. So it's yes,
Well, I don't
yeah.
know. What's your experience?
I think it's been. I have like a couple friends over in America, and that it seems like quite like very tight where you are. I think people here are generally quite agreeable. There's been like the odd people that will go and have the parties, and then everyone kind of looks down upon them. They're like, "That's really bad. Don't do that." I think they're bringing in fines now. So,
So, what are the fines like? Are they pretty tremendous or is it kind of a slap on the wrist?
I mean, things change every week. There's like a running joke. I don't know if you've seen the memes that were like, um, on Monday it's okay to go and see your grandma's cousin, but you can't take a fridge magnet with you because if it's pink and purple, then you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
There's like all sorts of like funny things going around like that. But at the moment, I think you get like fined like £100 each time that you're caught partying or doing something that's breaking the rules, and then the fines go up to like 3,000 or something, and then you get imprisoned. I don't know. It's some crazy stuff. But
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think there's any imprisonment laws here unless you're like coughing on groceries or something, you know?
sure, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
great.
it takes a lot here. And I think because we had all the protests and stuff. I mean, what are they going to do? They were arresting enough people.
Right, exactly. Like from here, it kind of made like not much sense because you're protesting for a good reason, but we're all close together. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. Mm, I
Yeah.
can't.
Well, the cops had spit shields, so that's good.
Oh, that's fine. They're not going to catch him.
Yeah. It's interesting though, the times that we lived in before 2020 were already kind of like mind numbing, and then this happened. I think people are going to appreciate the turn of just kind of letting nature breathe a little bit
Right.
and letting the dead wood die off, as they say. Not people. I don't mean people. I mean
Yeah. Like
industries that weren't going to survive this sort of thing anyway.
yeah, it's a huge like reset on society in general, isn't it? You really nailed it when you said this is like a chance to start again. Like, there are even like less planes in the sky, for example, and there's like so
Yeah.
much less emission, and like the air felt so much cleaner, and we start, like you said, we can like start from scratch again. And there were some really like unhealthy like things that we were doing, and I think that like the way we work so hard and kind of like just blitz through life thinking that these are the things that we need to attain, and then when they're unavailable, it's like, wow, you have to step back and see, I value my family, I value my friends, I value going outside. I think it's done some good for sure.
That's exactly it. The thing that makes me so depressed now isn't the things that made me depressed before. Now I really genuinely am like, I just want to go fishing with my friends. Like I want to sit next to them, or it's just even simple things like that. Not I don't want to go party. I don't want to go to a concert even. I mean, yes, I do. But the most important thing to me now would just be sitting around with like two of my best friends and just sitting around a campfire camping. But
Yeah.
the parks were closed. The national parks, the state parks, all this stuff was closed for so long, and they're just now opening up for like drive-through, but not really camping. I'm looking to do some traveling here. The leaves turn in the next few weeks, so I'm hoping.
Big day is the last day of autumn. It's equinox today, isn't it?
Yeah, today's the day. It's the first day of fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it look like over there?
I think there's some oranges coming in now, so
God, I love it. It's so
beautiful.
such a short window of time, but it's the best time of year. Just that complete meltdown. And here we are, kind of like emerging from our little bunkers, and everything's just beautiful. It's a great time to emerge. because I mean, honestly, I don't feel like I did much to better myself other than just follow the rules, and I just kind of put my nose to my work. Just
Okay,
I
yeah.
got better at work.
Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
positive.
So, are you gonna do any traveling? Or are you sort of you gonna be doing any road tripping when you come out of your cocoon? What is that?
Yeah, so my mum was Sri Lanka, so I'm half Sri Lankan. My dad's from Sri Lanka, so we were planning to go and spend like a month there, and then see what happens.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so that was the plan. I was going to do it in January, but I don't know how things are looking, and it depends on Sri Lanka's quarantine
Mm-hmm.
plans as well. So we just have to wait and see. So I guess just like a couple of trips around the UK.
Okay.
Good, yeah. There's some nice like hill areas sort of north from me, so I might go there.
Yeah, just getting out of your space. That's what I need. I need just to,
Yeah, yeah,
even if
just
it's 100 miles and that's all I make it.
yeah. Where do you want to go?
Well, I'm gonna travel. I'm actually going a few states up. We're trying to go to Utah, and it's
Oh, no.
just straight road trip. We're not flying. It's just the 2.5-year-old and Stacy and I.
Oh, that's
So
lovely. Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we're gonna see sort of the end of that turn, that orange and red, and if worst comes to worst, we see some snow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely just something different from where I'm at. It's just a lot of evergreen stuff here, a lot of like cedar and stuff. So it's kind of the same
Does
thing.
it get colder? You're in Texas, right?
Yeah, where I'm at, it might reach maybe 30 at the most. It freezes maybe 2 weeks of the year here.
Sure.
So what is that Celsius? That
Yeah,
would
I was
just be
gonna say,
zero, right?
you're Fahrenheit, aren't you? Is that Fahrenheit?
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, 32 is zero, you're right, yeah.
because it's times 3 plus 8.
Oh, good formula, times three
Uh,
plus.
whatever. I don't know. That's how I remembered it. I might be totally wrong. Somebody's like really upset about what I just said. Don't I don't know. I I knew a Canadian gal, and I for a while there I had to kind of know Fahrenheit to sort of exchange stuff with her. It's like learning Spanish. I did that for 2 years. I don't know any Spanish now. So
I have a Canadian friend, he's great. He actually come from Canada to work at the hospital I work in now.
mm-hmm.
So everyone speaks a British accent mostly, and then our Canadian friends there, it's great.
And he's got this other weird English accent.
Kind of, I think he thinks that it's blended into his accent now, so it must do, but we can still hear him sounding Canadian.
Is he one of the multi or the bilingual Canadians? He can do French as well.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him.
They'll throw that out at you. You won't know it, and then all of a sudden you're like being swooned.
Hey, how are you holding up? I'm alright, yeah, I'm not giving up. I don't know if I am being naive, but I'll
How did it feel to complete your third full-length album?
It felt great, you know. Like first album was 2015, second was 2017, and now 2020. You know, with each album, it feels like a friend, like a buddy, like a whole buddy with like lots of like 12 different parts. And the singles are great on their own. They like paint a picture, but like the albums are a whole person, and it's like having a friend. It's like looking back on like a really fun time. So I think in the idea that that will outlast for a while unless Spotify crashes forever. I mean,
Mhm.
it says on like physical copy as well, so there's no reason why it shouldn't. But that's the feeling. It's like a new friend I get to keep forever.
Yeah, that stays young and like cherishes that time of your life. He's like always like, hey, or she, hey,
Yeah. Remember that time you were really sad?
yeah, remember that? Yeah, it sounds like there is a lot of grieving in this. Is this a lot of this kind of bio, or are you just sort of musing?
I I think I had like an EP maybe end of 2018, and then I was like, okay, I have like nothing to write about anymore. My life seemed pretty settled. And then like I went on a big overturn, and like you love someone, and then that doesn't work out, and you're like, okay, now I have stuff to write about. So yeah, I think I use music a lot to express and process feelings that maybe I can't vocalize or share with people. I think if I can communicate with someone, then that's fine. But if that communication is no longer available or I don't feel heard, that's when songs come out.
Yeah,
So yeah, there's a lot of there is sadness in it, but there's also like a lot of self-discovery in there. Like there's like little hints of reflection and finding a place on this little planet.
but yeah, it is just having that. Even just taking it to spoken word doesn't feel as comfortable as putting it to melody.
Yeah, because you can add so much stuff to it. It's like having a cake and adding like those little flavors to it.
Yeah.
You can add some like lemon in there. You can add some cinnamon. Mango. You can like add flavors to it, and you can add flavors and sounds to songs. I mean, that cake doesn't sound great,
Hmm.
lemon, cinnamon, and mango, but yeah.
But add enough cream.
Hey, exactly.
I really like what you did though on some of these songs. There was a lot of like with your synth playing in
Oh,
particular,
thank you. Yeah,
like
awesome.
burnout and stuff. Even like your little interlude stuff, like so from Cola and then your little interlude burnout right into Your Star. Those three just like fit perfectly together. You know.
Yeah. Wicked. So the story behind that was Burnout was actually an entire song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we just like we were doing vocals, we were like rehashing the song, putting this bit there and this bit there, and I just couldn't get it to sit. And I said to Sam, the guy who I was producing with, who was helping like record and mix everything for me, I was like, actually the chords for Burnout are this like similar to You're a Star, which follows on from it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's just make it like a little Segu kind of thing. Let's
Yeah.
just like completely make it to this like weird transitiony kind of track. So it was a 3-minute track, like a straight rock kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I felt like yeah, that's where it was gonna go, and then it just sort of slipped into You're a Star, and I was like, hey, wait a minute.
Hey, what was that? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I like the way you said that is more of a segue than it is an interlude. Because
Segue, that's how you say it.
yeah.
I said Segu.
Did you know? I mean, I thought you said Seggy. I thought you said Seggy, which was like, like a British term or something.
No, now I start knowing what it's called.
Yeah, really. So telephone conversations. Uh,
Mm,
obviously, sort of a title for our times. Yeah. That's how
yeah.
we're.
Usually I try to go for something pretty profound, like everything is designed or happiness is a mindset. Cola says like stay golden after it. I was thinking about calling the album that, but there are too many like telephone references like littered throughout the album, and it just sort of it really reflected like a lot of the relationships that I've built upon in the last 2 years have literally been over the phone, like on like Instagram or like calling or Facebook, and like we just spend so much time on our phones.
Mm-hmm.
Like even at work in the coffee room, someone will be like, no, everyone's on their phone and no one's talking to each other. And it's like, oh, you
Yeah.
know, yeah. As I was growing up, I remember being small and just like my parents like, just go play out in the street, go play in someone's garden, you know, go get dirty in the mud. And now it just seems it's all like TikTok and tablets, and
Yeah.
TikTok's the worst. I can't stand it. It's like it's the most narcissistic thing I've ever come across.
Yeah, I barely do selfies, so TikTok would be that's a stretch for me.
Yeah. I was like driving down my road, and I was like, there's this girl like dancing, and I think she was like learning a TikTok because her like a laptop was on her driveway, and she was like dancing, and I'm like, so that's probably going to go online, and like millions of people are going to see it, and well,
Millions.
millions. I don't know. This girl might be TikTok famous. I don't know.
Tens of 20s. She's lucky.
Yeah.
I try to adapt to the times. I try to feel pretty integrated into what's going on, but I find myself kind of a dinosaur even by today's technological standards. I'm still on Instagram, and I still communicate with my wife like through Snapchat videos, you know, like if we're not together. But even that, it seems archaic compared to like, you're not on the talk, not talking, not talking to rock. You know? And I just don't there's so much I'll prescribe to, but I do kind of find myself wanting to experiment with the times, but I just find it's so time consuming, you know, like I'm going to get a Snapchat. It's not just that, like it's a well of all kinds of rabbit holes to fall into, you know,
Yeah.
with like the different types of news media that they ask you to do, or so satisfying videos or whatever it is. It's just like flashy and catching your eye. And it's like, I just got on here to, you know, send a 9-second video explaining what I'm working on. And, and now I'm on here for 20 minutes, like making myself look like a caveman. Or it's just so, it's such a distraction. Everything is such a distraction. Connor Oberst said like the modern world is a pornography. And it takes everything I have just to turn it off, you know?
Yeah. How profound. Yeah. No, that's accurate. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like, all the programming behind social media, it's all designed for us to be addicted to it. It's designed for us to like the color red notification, it like catches your eye. Like the dopamine hits you get from scrolling and like refreshing and seeing, oh, what's new? There's a documentary on Netflix, I don't know if it's out in the US, but it's called Social Dilemma.
I will check it out. I can probably watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's probably up there as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's just people that have worked at Google and Facebook, they're all kind of like talking about how they want ethics in their branding because, you know, these companies are preying on people's, you know, like the addictive traits of human nature, and what's good for monetizing for them is like terrible for us.
Wow. I'm such a consumer. I hate it. I did not think I would grow up to be this. I was such a nature kid, like Boy Scout and camping all the time and stuff. And now because I've dipped my toe in it and I wanted to experience it. And, you know, I'm just I'm addicted to the stimulant of this world and like the next new thing. And I'm like, when are these flying cars coming? When are we doing these affordable rocket trips to the moon? You know, and I'm so mad at myself for losing touch that I just, there are days where I just completely ground myself. I just completely shut off from the world and just hang out with just my kids. And we just go on like park tours and drive around and just, like literally just drive and listen to music with the windows down. And you know, if it rains, we just let it come in the car. Like that's the only escape I really have now. But it feels like you just run right back to it. Like you just come home and it's like, all right, what's on the TV?
That's actually the last line in the album. There's like the outro part of Why We So Depressed is like a counter melody, and it's like, put your phone down, go out.
Yeah.
That's
really?
It, yeah. Just do it. Yeah, put your phone down, go out. That's like my ending message.
expectations didn't sit with me. Oh, why are we so depressed? And why don't we put down our phones instead? Stayed inside when I wanted to break out. Everything is coming down round my head, yeah. Don't you see, I wanted to be everything you asked, but those expectations didn't sit with me. Oh, why are we so depressed? And why don't we put down our phones instead? We're clocking up screen time. It's bad for your eyes. That blue light, scrolling through highlights. It swings on mood, comparing to others' lives. Oh, why are we so depressed? And why don't we put down our phones instead? Oh, why are we so depressed? And why don't we put down our phones instead?
Take an axe to your phone. Walk away.
Oh no, because then you can't listen to stuff.
Buy a CD.
Yes,
Get
buy a
it in
CD.
your car and
Yeah,
drive.
absolutely.
I have hundreds of CDs.
Yeah.
I love CDs. Yeah, they're like,
Mm.
because I know, as like you said, will Spotify crash? Spotify is the least likely to crash, just because of the wealth that they have. However,
Mm.
internet goes out, all of them go out.
Mhm.
Spotify is not going to be able to prop that up. But as long as there's battery power in my car, I can have access to music.
Yeah.
And I have the art all over my walls. Like, when people have the CD fold outs or long ways, whatever, I fold them out and tack them up on the walls. So
Yeah, it's lovely.
like a little kid.
But it's nice just to be surrounded by all that kind of stuff. Like my bedroom used to be very similar. Like it's very chill now because I feel too stressed inside, so I need calm on the outside. But when I was like a few years ago, before I got my room sorted, I had like posters of everything and like all my favorite stuff and photos of me and my friends. And you just want to surround yourself with all the stuff that you love that makes you feel alive, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But I guess I keep it up, yeah, because I lean on that balance of love, and I lean more towards that, and I'm like, okay, I'm still working towards this goal. These things that I look at that maybe think signs of the past, I still want to go back to some of these places, and I still want to see these things again, and they remind me of that. So I think my mind is too busy to have white walls.
Yeah.
My own rabbit holes are more dangerous than Snapchat rabbit holes, perhaps.
That's a good thing. That's reassuring.
What is the danger, or the fact that I am aware of the danger?
Yeah, and you know that your rabbit hole's worse than the Snapchat rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
it's because
yeah.
it's the real thing, isn't it?
It'll suck you in.
Yeah.
It'll suck you right in. But there's so many chapters to life, right?
Oh man, yeah, totally, yeah.
Like, how many times have you just solidly believed something and then you look back on that time and you're like, that's all shit. Like, I don't even remember when I stopped believing that.
Yeah. There's a band called The Dangerous Summer. I don't know where they're from. They're from somewhere in America.
What are they called? The Dangerous Sun?
Yeah, The Dangerous Summer.
Summer. Okay.
Summer, yeah. And there's a line in one of their first albums. It's like, I'm learning now that I was wrong in everything, and that's the reason why I think I can grow. And that always stuck with me. And like, because sometimes you're listening to it and you're like, no, I'm not wrong about it. I know what I'm doing. And then you'd listen to it a few weeks later and you're like, oh, heck, I was wrong about everything. This song is so right. And like you say, like your belief system changes and your experience.
I like to push forward based on my experiences and just kind of like, if I smell bullshit, I just walk away at some point. I don't look back, I guess, maybe.
I'm like, oh no, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's fine. So like rose-colored glasses. But I think I'm waking up slowly but surely to just not to like seeing the bullshit and being like, nah, I'm out.
But there's too much. There's too much. I don't know. I'm not even talking about religion or politics. I'm just talking about like to have a phone it on me or keep it in the car while I work, or like, to even have this podcast. It's like, what am I doing here? I really love the idea of this podcast, but if it's never going to take off, then am I really going to accomplish what I set out to accomplish? And is that okay if I don't? Is it going to bring me fulfillment in another way? And I have to imagine that's what every musician thinks when they put out an album. Do I want to keep playing these songs? Is this something I want to show everybody after all? Do I want to keep this to myself?
Yeah, it's so interesting because when you're talking about how people perceive your art, so like your podcast listeners, like my music listeners, like I think no one will like see it the way you want it to. It's only you that like gets that feeling. But all the different ways that different people can experience it and feedback to you how they feel, that also like creates something special for you, isn't it?
I think so. I think I do. I have had multiple experiences where people do have found this organically and have reached out and have just, wanted to be on the show, or like, hey, I'm putting out a record and I heard about your show, and and it's meant different things for different people. And it just appeared out of thin air. It was just an idea. I just started asking strangers if they wanted to talk to me,
Yeah.
and I didn't care if they were famous. I didn't care. I just cared that they were creating things. I just, my idea of that was like, this is happening right now. It, like, you put this album out just this week, and so that's music of our time. And I think that's forgotten. And I've always steered away from terrestrial radio because I'm like, I love all of this music, but I could never hear a Van Morrison song on the radio again and always click it on in my head. Same thing with Metallica, Creedence, Beach Boy, whatever it is, right? I've heard them all so much that I just click it on. But what's the harm in like bringing my mind closer to like what's being put out into the world right now in this very second,
Mm-hmm.
And if just one other person experiences the show like that with me, then that would be the most special way that it could be received, is if somebody's listening to the show week after week or whenever I put it out going like, what is happening right now? I'm so excited, like what is this? What am I going to hear? But if they just like the interviews, or they just like the have background noise, or that one particular show, they just listen to the show because they like you, they're a friend of yours, that's okay with me too. Where I guess I'm going with that is I do teeter on like, is that valuable enough to put this much time into it? That, every once in a while blast of dopamine that comes from this really organic, but oftentimes, it's very rare that somebody reaches out and says something like that. That makes me go, aw, Like you getting the mug, that was an awe moment, you know, but those are rare moments.
Yeah. And this is success for you. Like you have like your own mug,
Yes.
and it's in England, and it's
Yeah.
here, and I'm gonna have that forever. And every time I use it, people will be like, "What's that mug?" And I'll tell them, and that's how.
I love it.
I could never really explain, so now I'm gonna try. It just seems in life I get this way again and again, but I always try, yeah. I feel like I want different things to my friends. I keep quiet cause I don't wanna complicate them, so I will just stay the sun for them. I wanna stay golden. There's so many people to me, and to me committal feels like concrete. So you don't like what you see, and I was alright for years, but these last few have left me changed. The mind bends, I'm trying to explain. I'm just trying to explain. One day I hope to wake up and to see two little eyes looking back at me at the moment. I feel yours so out of reach. But what if I didn't want to be? What if I didn't want to be set for better things? Now it's so real to me, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I have a mug. I can only go up from here. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's gonna be posters. It's gonna be like what are those wall flags that they do. T-shirts. Hey, we still need to make T-shirts.
We
I'm
do.
waiting, I'm waiting for those T-shirts.
Well, Tape Club hit at a weird time, but
Yeah.
like
But
literally the month we're gonna launch it, everybody's like, nope, you can't come over anymore.
Ian.
Shit.
But no, I reckon this would look really good on a T-shirt.
It would. I've been thinking about it. I think the first of the year, I'm gonna
Mm.
churn out some serious merch. I think I've been putting out some ideas and getting some feedback, and I was told do not make fanny packs or mouse pads.
Yeah.
We'll see. There's I think a t-shirt. T-shirts are 100% coming. They're going to be some nice next level apparel or somewhere along those lines. Maybe some grinders, you know, some herb grinders.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Things that last. I like things that stick around. And if you get an herb grinder, I feel like somebody could just use that the rest of their life.
Yeah,
Nice
for
metal
sure.
one.
Down even.
Pass it down to their kids. Pass that herb grinder down, kids. You want to answer some really out there questions?
Sure.
This is fun. I like this part. Okay. So you are juggling a full-time career and also putting out full-length albums.
Mm.
So this can apply either way because both of them are life-consuming parts, you know? So what do you think in your other profession, what do you think would be, or either one, the worst career move or the best career move you can make? And this is all just based on your knowledge, your experience, your absorption of the industry, or perhaps, you know, say, you know, and I don't want to tell anybody what you do. You're a public servant, but
Yeah, public servant. That's a nice one to go with.
you
Yeah.
know, so there's a lot of mistakes you could make that could be
Mhm.
career ending for you,
Yeah.
but those also can apply to music as well because
Mm.
everything is social media related now.
Yeah.
What do
I
you think
think with
the worst?
nursing, that's like so straightforward. The worst thing that you can ever do is like do something bad to someone,
Mhm.
or like
Hurt
make a
somebody.
real big mistake. Like not even like a mistake, like doing something on purpose that's terrible. Like I think
Mhm.
that's the worst thing you can do because you like compromise your career and your trust, your like professionalism. So that's real straightforward. With music, it's interesting. Like, what's the biggest mistake you can make in music? You could argue like not making the music that you want to make, so you become
Mhm.
inauthentic. Um, you know,
That's a
or
good answer. I
yeah,
like that. You get trapped in inauthenticity. Oh, it's a nightmare.
yeah, for sure. I mean, but like some people like happy with that. Like people are like vocal artists and you know, there are people like, here's a song that I wrote, you need to sing it. Like, you might not believe in it. Like, I'm sure like a lot of like Beyonce's music gets written for her, you know, like the
Mhm.
lyrics. Like, I remember hearing Broken Hearted Girl by her. I'm like, but you're happily married with Jay-Z at the time, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like this, and then you do question the authenticity of it a bit. So for me personally, like my biggest mistake like with music would be to just try and do something just because I want to be more radio friendly or like make it, you know, to more crowds. Because then what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, yeah. That's a never a straight answer there. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I guess it is, but it changes. It changes at some point. So those are the worst. What are the best things that you could do? Like, what's going to take you to the top? I don't even
It's
know
so
what I'm trying to say.
interesting because success is so relative, isn't it? Like
Mhm.
for some people, like success could be like making £1 million off a song, right? But then others, like the success could be. I think I'm a very like intrinsic person, so I get like my joy from small things. So for me, like the best thing, the most successful thing, I don't know, just I hate to like keep saying authenticity, but it just keeps coming, so I'm gonna let it come out. So and I'm gonna just say stop that. Speak how you feel. Yeah, no, the best thing, the best feelings are playing what's true to you, like sharing your stories and just, you know, yeah. I'm kind of tired actually. I've been like, I worked 10 hours and then I went for a run and then I've been to martial arts class and I'm here. So, yeah,
You're fried.
authenticity. That's the one. Yeah.
I am totally with you. This is my first day off in like 15 days.
Oh my
So
gosh, yeah.
I'm like, I really needed this, but I'm still just like, I'm in recoup mode too. But yeah, you sound like you really hit it. The martial arts class after a 10-hour shift, like,
Yeah, I don't stop.
damn. Okay, well, I'm only going to hit you with a couple more. How likely are you to do something for yourself versus doing something for someone else?
Mm, that's so interesting. So, um, I see kind of like a counselor on the side just to like help like get I've been going through a lot. So and she says to me, Alice, you fall on your own sword. And I said, like, what does that mean? It means like you kind of like put yourself in a bad position to help other people, if that makes sense. So before I'm more likely to help other people also with my career. Like I love people, I love like helping people. I love people is a big term. I love people that I love, you know what I
Your
mean?
people. No.
Yeah. So these days I'm trying to be a bit more not like selfish, but like self-care in the not sacrificing my own self for someone else's gain. But then being reasonable about like helping people, you know, doing stuff for other people because it feels great, doesn't it? You get that little feeling that you've done something good. But then I think it builds your character and your strength if you can do something for yourself, but with humility and consideration for others, not to do it in a selfish way. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. That definitely is a calculated part of growing up is learning that. A lot of times I think we're sort of like instilled to impress everybody, which
Mm.
you realize younger that that's pretty shallow, that it needs to be bigger and better than impressing somebody, you
Mm.
know? And then you just get addicted to that. Like, yeah, sure, of course I'll help you move, man. I don't have time, but I'll do, and eventually everything just backs up. Um, and then backs up to where you're not really doing anything for yourself. I still struggle with that for sure. Okay, this is a good one. This one gets mixed answers. Uh, are you aware with like the matrix theory, like the simulation theory?
Kind of, yeah, like, are we living in a simulation? Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen a couple of YouTube videos about it. Yeah.
So does it ever freak you out when stuff in the universe aligns with like your thoughts? Like your most personal private thoughts all of a sudden are now like coming through the radio, or like you're reading a word that's in your head that it was only in your head before you saw it, Does that freak you out?
No, I love it. It makes me feel more connected to the world than ever. Honestly. Oh, you're doing a wave. Oh, hey!
I have a ghost in here.
Oh, the ghost! It's a cute little ghost.
It's a shadow.
Hi.
This is Zephyr.
Nice to meet you.
You want to say hi to Alice?
Hi. Is that a unicorn on your top?
Yeah, here.
Adorable. Oh, hey! Oh, look! That's so cute. Wow, you just stole the show.
All right, get out of here. We're having introspective conversations. She smells like strawberries.
Enjoy your snacks. There's snacks in that bowl.
Bye, Miss Alice.
Oh, bye.
Here, say it right here. Say, have a good night.
Oh, thank you. You too. Enjoy your snacks.
Aww. Yeah, so I am the same way. I love it. I love it as well. It's I try not to be a crazy person. I sound like a crazy person. My wife's like, all right. Because I say it, I'm like, just hear it. Did you hear it? We said it at the same time. But I'm like, I try to, if I keep it in, I feel more insane. And then my thoughts just run wild, you know? I'm like, can we just say it, laugh about it? Like, how weird it is that everything seems to synchronize with our thoughts now. I don't know.
Mhm.
Paying too much attention.
Yeah.
I've got habits of making you up in my mind to hold on to, and I say it again every way, every night. But I've got habits, you're still on my mind. It's like you're no longer surviving, like you're no longer thriving. Heart was so dark, I needed help, and I still don't belong to anyone Got what it's like to feel the thrill of life down inside. It's like a fading light. I held you at such a high, big at the expense of myself. There's a little piece of me that isn't doing too well. It's like you're no longer surviving, like you're no longer thriving. I got so dark, I needed help, and I still don't belong to anyone else.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I want you to get some rest because you look like you're going to go to sleep right here.
Yeah.
Like, hey. But no, I seriously, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me so late over there. And
Pleasure. Yeah, I've been looking forward to it. It's nice to chat with you and, you know, have like a real good conversation with someone that cares about what you're doing. It's cool.
yeah, you're such an awesome musician and you're always working on stuff. And I finally got to talk to Liam and he's so awesome too.
Oh yeah, he's
And
great. Yeah. Did you speak to him?
I did. Yeah. We had a really good conversation and he's so funny. He's just he's like such a straight guy, you know, such a straight spoken person.
Mhm.
And I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And we talked about you a little bit. So I knew I was going to talk to you again. I just thought that was kind of funny. Like,
That's cool. I need to listen to the one with Liam because I've not heard it yet. He'll
yeah,
tell me off for not, because you mentioned the Beach Boys twice, and Liam loves Beach Boys, so he'll tell me off for not.
we
Thank
both do. We talked about that. Yeah.
Fine merch. Look, check this out.
Nice. Okay.
Yes, we're just like testing some t-shirts and stuff. So
I like that. It's so subtle.
Yeah, yeah.
And the red and the pink, like it's
That's
picture
it.
perfect.
Yeah. Album art, Alice Cat. in the room. Red and pink are such great colours together, aren't they?
They are. I
Mm.
like it.
Yeah.
I like it, and you have the good melanin for it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
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 I'm not olive enough for it, but
Oh, that's all right.
I guess I could try some red. I don't have much red. But
We try that, yeah.
I have all black. It's all black. So depressing.
He comes through, by the way.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I was gonna write you that day and say sign it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that. I'll have these episodes to commemorate the meeting, and yeah, that's all that's important. The digital auto right here. But take care of yourself, Alice.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. It was really cool talking to you.
Yeah, and let me know anytime you put stuff out if I haven't already seen it
I'll
already.
always send it to you. Yeah. I'm actually working on a new song. It's gonna it's a complete surprise. Like no one expects an album drop and then a completely new single drop. So.
Well, if it's out of context, it's well welcomed, you know.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, have a good night.
I'm gonna go sleep. You have a good
Okay.
day. Oh, the rest of your day.
I will.
Bye bye bye.
Fantastic, right? Wasn't it great? You guys see? Did you guys see what I was talking about? Oh, and you know what's even crazier? Before I forget. So the part of the episode where we were talking about moving on with experiences and, beliefs, and the part of the episode where I literally said, I don't even remember when I stopped believing. Stacy came strutting through the room singing what other song for no other reason than it was in her head. Don't Stop Believing. And I stopped recording, click, and I said, hey, stop eavesdropping on this conversation. And she goes, what are you talking about? And I, showed her the part of the conversation. Was I received like a crazy person? Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I love you guys so much. This is also Arthur, by the way. Click on them show notes, baby. All them show notes are going to lead you to Alice Cat. They're going to lead you to Arthur's collection right here on Bandcamp, and I encourage you guys to go explore that. That's how I'll be finding bands from now on. No more social media for me. That's right. The cheat codes are gone. Everybody you hear on here is going to be some good old-fashioned emailing. I'm going to dig them up. I'm going to hopefully not get sent to the spam file. That's what I'm... Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for joining us. I leave you with one simple message. For God's sake, for Buddha's sake, for Muhammad's sake, for Chemical Jan's sake, for Joe Rogan's sake, for Timothy Leary's sake, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and follow the golden rule. Oh, wait. What's this? One more song before we go? Sure, man. Yeah, of course. This one here is off of the Telephone Conversations album. All of the songs that you heard on this episode were actually off of the Telephone Conversation album. You can find that in the Bandcamp. Click on the show notes. Stay golden, my friends.
The dopamine burned out too quick, but it's cool a little summer and it will come back to me. And I was the tooth and you were the cola. I faded away more, I got to know ya, and I've got to know. rather be the sighs in this mood. Looking at the moon and talking to you. Put down the phone, don't let it control you. Common sense now seems so far right. Who will I fight for? And I'm trying to stay focused, and I'm trying to stay calm. I'm trying to stay true, trying to do no harm. Exercise discipline, however slight. It's my intentions that stay golden, illuminate in feelings are the fever of the mind, so I paint you into the sky. Connect the dots of violet light, so we stay forever. Iron star sign. And I'm trying to stay focused, and I'm trying to stay calm. It's my intentions that stay golden, illuminate in the light.
I'm sending nothing but good light towards you, and just stay golden.